think Jesus was really giving legal advice in Matthew chapter 5 when he talked about going to court? Second half of the chapter. Um, I don't think so, but we'll talk. I'm Joseph Onesta, and I am an ordained minister in the Pentecostal tradition. I'm sure lots of Pentecostals would disown me when they find out about me, but that's all right. The gifts and callings of God are irrevocable, and that's the way it is. So, what was Jesus talking about? Matthew 5, verses 21 through 26, when he says, and just bear with me here, I'm going to do this in a couple of parts. You have heard that the ancients were told, you shall not commit murder, and whoever commits murder shall be liable to the court. But I say to you that everyone who is angry with his brother shall be guilty before the court, and whoever says to his brother, you good for nothing, shall be guilty before the Supreme Court, and whoever says, you fool, shall be guilty enough to go into the fiery hell. So, if you criticize the people around you, because we're all brothers and sisters, whether some Christians like to admit it or not, according to this, if you're a literalist, you're going to hell if you criticize other people, according to this, right? But I don't think he's really talking about that. I think what he's talking about is the way we live or should live as Christians. And so let's move on. Now we're going to go back to verse 23. Therefore, if you are presenting your offering at the altar, and there remember that your brother has something against you, leave your offering there before the altar and go first and be reconciled to your brother, and then come and present your offering. Now, there are a number of verses, and I'm not going to dance around the Bible, but there is a verse in 1 Corinthians that says, if I speak in the tongues of men and angels, no matter what gifts of the Spirit I have or demonstrate, if I have not love, I have nothing. I'm a clanging cymbal before God. And I think this is the kind of message that we're being given. He's not really giving us legal advice. I don't know what court he's talking about. You know, certainly not the Roman court, which was the one that mattered, at least in the Roman Empire. There may have been a court that was administered by the religious leaders as well, and I know there's a sort of judgment thing even today in particularly Orthodox Jewish communities, where there's sort of like a negotiation kind of thing. But even so, what he says is, if somebody has something against you, this is something. It's not if you have something against somebody else, if somebody else has hurt you. That's not what he's talking about. If they hurt you and then you hurt them back, that's what he's talking about. And they have something against you. Go and make it right. Go and apologize. Once in my life, I got a call from somebody who bullied me when I was in school, and I had forgiven him. There were a bunch of people who sort of bullied me, and I, at one point in hypnosis, I'm a clinical hypnotist, and I was sort of processing through my trauma. I forgave them. He called me up. He was getting sober. He's on a 12-step program. He wanted to make amends. I don't even remember what he did to me. Like, he's telling me these things, and it's like, I don't remember any of this. But I forgive you if you need that. He needed me to forgive him. I forgave him. Other people might not forgive you if you've hurt them, but that's not your concern. It's theirs. I forgave him. I told him, I said, buddy, I don't remember this stuff, and I'm so proud that you're pulling your life together. You're getting sober, high five for that. And but this is the kind of thing that if somebody, and you can't fix them, you can't make it, you can apologize, make sure you do it earnestly, but you can apologize and say, I'm sorry, even if it's just, I'm sorry that this hurt you. That wasn't my intention. But if it was, then it was my intention and I'm sorry. I did it. I confess it. No matter how you understand the world, no matter how you understand the society around you, if you find yourself in contention, and this is where he goes, this is incredible. He says, make friends quickly with your opponent at law while you are with him on the way, so that your opponent may not hand you over to the judge. You're guilty. And the judge to the officer, and you be thrown into prison. Truly, I say to you, you will not come out of there until you've paid the last cent. So you've paid the price. Because haughtily, you stood your ground. And I say haughtily. He's not saying, look, settle out of court. What he's really saying is, make things right. And know that as long as your behavior is, or your attitude is that of someone who feels superior, and being right is a sense of superiority. I'm right. Well, you're only right in your own perception. Only right in your own perception. That's all I'm saying. I've often, more than once, I've had people come to me, Christian brothers and sisters, well-meaning. Brother, how do you reconcile your lifestyle with your faith? And it's like, I don't see the conflict, and it's not your job to do it either. But what I say to them, literally what I say to them, and this is the answer that if you say it to me, I'll say it to you. Clearly, you think you're right. This is the biggest difference between us. You think you're right. And I know on some level that we're both wrong. I don't know how I'm wrong, neither do you. But God is bigger than both of our understanding. So when Jesus says, therefore, if you are presenting your offering at the altar, we don't make sacrifices anymore. They did back then, but they have, like, I brought this lamb, or this goat or whatever. We're not doing that today. When we go to church and we sing our songs and we volunteer, we're making an offering of ourselves for the kingdom of God. And that offering should be generous. It should be made in love. It's the only way it's acceptable. It's the only way it's acceptable. If it's not done in love, it's not acceptable. So, therefore, if you are presenting if you go to church, if you're doing all the stuff you do, and you remember that your brother, somebody else, has something against you, you hurt them. You did something wrong. Leave your offering there before the altar. You're coming back, so leave it there. You're going to come back. Leave it there and go first and be reconciled with your brother. Then come back and make your offering. Make it right. And so it's really important for you to understand that he's not giving legal advice here. What he's doing is he's saying, think about your motivations. Think about how you act with other people. I'm going to end with I've been contacted by a number of people. And our politics is very divisive. And I've been invited by people of opposite opinion asking me if I'd be willing to have a discussion. I'm always willing to have a discussion, but I'm not willing to fight over it. And I've always said, as long as it doesn't devolve into some sort of bickering and name calling, because I won't do that. You have every right to think the way you do, whether you agree with me or not. I think I'm right, but so do you. So my job as a Christian is to not hurt you in our disagreement, but to love you in our disagreement. And if I think you're hurting me, then it's not on me to fix that. I'll give you your space and you be yourself. And if you need to reconcile with me at some point, I'll be happy to receive you and love you and forgive you. Get it? Happy Sunday. See you next week.